my friends. I'm glad to see you made it. So I guess you still want to go hunting with Dave. Well, today I want to talk about marksmanship and a little bit of necessities and unnecessities, the things you might need for to come onto your Colorado hunt. And you know, one of the things I want to talk about is this right here. And this right here is purely and solely made for peacemaker, right? This is only to kill and shoot another man. And so it's really not cool or good to have for hunting and things like that. Plus, in Colorado, you have a law that any pistol being used must be a .44 caliber or more. So you got to use a real heavy-duty gun to be able to, I don't know, give him the last plug because he was a poor shot on the first shot. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about today. You know, that's one of the things. My grandfather owned Castor Sporting Goods, and Paul was one of the greatest marksmen you'd ever want to know, and one of the greatest salesmen you ever wanted to meet. And everybody around town, around Denver, they'd always gather at Castor Sporting Goods there to enjoy telling a good story. And you know, he'd get these guys come in there, you know, and Johnny'd come in and he'd be showing off, yeah, man, let's check out this new Colt that we just got in. And this thing here, it's running $300, right? And Johnny would be like, nah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I want to be spending all my money on a brand new Colt, you know. And no, here, let me show you how worthy this Colt is of $300. So he would be like, come here, Jack, and Jack would be coming in, and that was his boy, you know, and that's my Uncle Jack. And Uncle Jack come walking in, and he'd be like, yeah, here, let me show you how worthy this gun is, right? And he'd put a can on top of Uncle Jack's head, and not just any kind of can, but this was fresh Budweiser, you know, and here, and put this on your head right there, right? And he'd just be as quick as could be, pow! Right off the top of his head. And man, then Johnny would be like, dude, here's $400, you know. I'll give you anything I can just to get that gun out of your hand. Right? And then if he wasn't selling pistols, he might have been selling rifles. And when he was selling rifles, you know, it was, if Jimmy didn't want to buy a rifle, he'd be like, here, I'll show you how worthy this rifle is of $300, right? And so he'd be like, Larry, get over here, Larry. And Larry would come on in, and then he'd say, hey. And he'd take the last swig of his Jack Daniels and put a bottle of Jack on top of Larry. And then he'd get a mirror out and use that rifle in his mirror and shoot behind his back and knock that bottle right off his head. And again, guys be like just wailing out all this money trying to get that gun out of his hand, and he'd be like one of the proudest salesmen around, right? And so that's the thing I want to remind you that, you know, have a good weapon, a good gun. Wouldn't recommend anything smaller than a .270, and that goes for ladies as well if you're a woman wanting to go hunting. You know, I remember one of the first times when we went hunting, I took my sister, and she's about 18 years old, and she was shooting a .270, and had a nice little cow elk crowd out there, about 300 yards, and nice shots, you know. She had an uphill shot. She's uphill shooting down, perfect. Everything was going well, just like you want to see. And man, she's huffing and puffing and get a little excited, and pow! Hits that thing right in the jaw. And one thing about it, yeah, you think, wow, that's a great shot. But when you hit them right in the jaw and it blows their jaw off, you know, and then you just got her jaw hanging there and a piece of skin, you know. But it doesn't kill them. It doesn't kill them. And unless you hit a nice shot right through the lungs and the heart, it's going to be tough. These are big animals, and they may take a few shots. I remember my sister, she was so distraught over blowing its jaw out, you know. It was a little dramatic for her. So she was whining and crying. And, you know, I remember that was also the year that we were telling my dad, you know, hey, Dad, and he was Mr. Frugal. This guy, he hated spending money, so he was always real frugal with all his money. So he's like, hey, Dad, let's get some wine. You know, that way after we have our kill, we'll have some cigars and some wine. And then we'll celebrate over our great harvest, right? And so we're sitting back, and of course, you know, Dad comes back with a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. And it's like, Mad Dog 2020, you know, that ain't no wine, that's like hooch, you know. And not just any kind of hooch, you know, you take a shot of Mad Dog 2020 and that stuff's like, you know, eating a fresh vagina full of yeast infection. You know what I mean? Or it's like covering your breakfast burrito in Fermunda cheese. You know, that's how nasty Mad Dog is. And in fact, I remember at the end of the night, man, we were all sitting around the fire, and Pops, you know, he takes the last slug of the Mad Dog, and yeah, I'm going to bed. And this is one of the reasons I don't approve of tents. You know, I think you need a nice camper when you go hunting. And all Pops is like staggering and staggering, and he's about to go over the fire, and hey man, that fire, it'll really burn you. Yeah, and so he staggers back and whoosh, crashes all over the tent, you know, and smashes that down. And once you break those tent posts, it's a real pain in the butt. Man, tent, you know. Next morning, it started raining. It was raining and pouring and raining and thundering, man, and ended up getting everything we had was wet. Our clothes were wet, our bedding was wet, and if you get all your stuff wet, then that makes for a really hard time. And that's what I want you guys to avoid, is having a bad time while you're out on a hunting trip of a lifetime. Now, one of the things I want you to know is when you go elk hunting in Colorado, you gotta be tough and you gotta be a man. So here in town, you know, I'm David. But when I head up to the high country and I hit the hill, all of a sudden I'm Grizz. Right? I remember when I got my name Grizz, and we were there hunting, and we used to own this property. We had a couple acres of land up in Jefferson, Colorado, and we had a great place, and 2 acres surrounded by national forest. So it was awesome, man. You could go anywhere you wanted to go, and there was thousands of acres. So one of the first times I was out guiding a hunt, I had this guy Brian and I had this guy Jesse, and we're out there, and had our base camp there, and we see these 100 herd of elk, and these elk are walking out in the distance. You know, there's 1,000 yards out, you know, a quarter mile out, and so they're way out there, and we see them walking into the woods, but they're going up this way. And of course, I tell the guys, well, hey, you guys want to go get a shot off at one of those elk? Heck yeah, man. All right, so what we did, instead of going right to the elk, right, now let's think about this logically, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go the opposite way of the elk. We ended up going the opposite way of the elk, heading up, and then we came up this big hump on the hill, and so they were heading this way, but we were going down so we could get up and be like a parallel shot that way across, right? Well, lo and behold, you know, I'm walking up the hill, and this is like a 2-3 mile walk just to get up to the top of the hill, because we had to go backtrack and come around, and so we're getting about halfway up the hill, you know. I was just sitting there, and I was like, from this day forward, you call me Grizz. And my 2 buddies that were sitting there with me, they both looked at me, and they looked at each other and said, okay, Grizz. And everybody was Grizz. Now, can you guys hear a telephone? So all of a sudden, there we are walking halfway up the hill, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, from this point on, you guys call me Grizz. And my buddy looked at him, and the other buddy looked at him, and they both looked at me and said, okay, Grizz. Then we just kind of kept on walking up the mountain, you know. Then we got up to the top of the mountain, right? And we get to the spot, and again, we backtracked around. But all of a sudden, lo and behold, see those elk, they walked up, but elk like flat ground. They don't really like heavy-duty steeps and steep inclines. They're going to be on flat, easy walking. They're kind of lazy. And so what the elk actually ended up doing is they kind of went up the hill, and then they came back down the hill and went right under our feet. So right there we were, perfect spot, man. And there's like 100 head of elk, 4 or 5 nice big bulls. And we're sitting there, and my buddy, Jesse, has like buck fever. Right? So you gotta be aware of watching all them elk hunting videos before you go hunting. You're gonna get all kinds of buck fever, man. And he's like foaming at the mouth and an elk! Right? And all the elk in the county just look back and like, later, dude. And bam, they were gone. And that was when I stood up and was like, huh. From this day forward, I am now king of the Fagaris. And Buddy looked at him, Buddy looked at Fagaris. Yeah, king of the tribe of Fagaris. And he was like, Fagaris? What the heck is a Fagari? I stand up right on the top of the mountain and I start looking for the Fagari. Right? And so that's the thing. That's why you want to go hunting with Dave. Because we ain't going on no safari. But we are going to become a Fagari. Cousin Rich's big boys. Look at the size of that buck.
Go out there and box it. He's out there to hurt him. That's a good looking dog. That's good. Oh.
Look at the size of that. So how you guys feel? You excited, huh?
Well, they said they weren't.
No, I can't imagine
do
that.
that.
They would even make
Well, I
tracers
used
in that
to
round. They would even make tracers in that round. I don't think.
Unless they're belt fed or something, like they wouldn't be single round. Well, I guess they have single
No, I
rounds.
bought them.
Racers. They have
yeah.
single rounds.
Yeah, you can buy them. You can buy them because they have them for all calibers, actually.
Making a move?
Just because guys, want to start firing that stuff. But it's
Usually when I see that guy in the corner, I gotta take my pants off. Hey, it's time to go to work.
Looking for the big elk. What? What's it get in? Hey everybody, I'm glad to see you made it. Come to Colorado and go elk hunting with Dave. We're up here and it's first day and well, it's the day before opening day. We haven't seen anything yet, but we're very hopeful. We got a good spot. Nice fire pit. Nice camp. Got our first coffee cooking. Everything's going well. But I sure hope we're gonna come with us. We're gonna go up into the woods, into the mountains, and you guys come with us. And we'll show you how to get an elk. A little later when we're having a campfire and we got all the guys around, we'll share some stories with you guys, okay? Till then, see you soon.
that's right over on this one.
in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado.
Shush.
Yeah, go that way. And be careful. Tex, you did it!
That's what this thing's for.
Okay, now don't get the dirt in there. Oh, it's done. Look good, huh?
Too fucking hot.
Too hot, he's down in there.
Put us further down that hill or on the side of that hill. Just jogging over this one. I know, but you don't have very much. You're getting cold. Oh yeah, but I bet you taste it.
That's how you boil water. Colorado style. Put your shells in. Quit bitching so we can eat.
Fucking even gets to the girl.
Put your shells. Put your shells in it. Never let you eat.
Fuck, man. Honey, I just jacked off.
381,667. That was the most. This is what they're talking about in Philadelphia. When we get back to Pennsylvania, Democrats need to run it up. 381,000. Now we've got 40% of the precincts still in fact. We've got a lot of votes to still come in. They could come in from the inner city of Detroit. Maybe we get to 381,000 plus. Way short where we are right now. So the question is,
Hey, here we are, about 12,000 feet here in Rocky Mountains of Colorado, marrow of the world. Hey, you guys, I want to get to know this is the place to go. Man, got 2 creeks coming down here, and it's real nice, and it's kind of been a little cold this winter. I think we got a good spot. We seen some sign in here. We're gonna sit right here. We're gonna wait. Use the river to camouflage our noise, or it just helps you with the noise you make. It covers that noise up. So we want to hunt right here next to this river. So hang on, and we'll see if we get one. Hey, that's how it is when you go elk hunting with Dave. Rocky Mountains of Colorado are about 12,000 feet. Whew. Dropped down a big bull this morning. Now we're packing around. Couldn't get the shot on film, or the bull go down on film, but we did get the shooter getting the shot off, so we'll have all that with you when we get back to city life. But, my advice to you is get them next to the road. It's not so hard. You get them way back in here like this, you gotta work your ass off to get them out. So good. Be smart when you go hunting. Get them next to the road. Hey, that's how it is when you go elk hunting with Dave. Oh yeah, perfecto.
We were making a movie.
Yeah. Dicks. Told you no.
We're gonna have the making of, and we could also do an unrated version. Fuck it, the possibilities are endless. You make a movie. You can even write books about it.
Yeah.
Alright, we need to get these off. Let me get them off.
Just put them right in with the potatoes. Probably.
Oh, you want a crisp on them?
Chris.
They're already pickled. That's awesome. Here, we might want to eat some of these tomorrow.
Look like we're eating tonight. We're eating like kings. Just like that. That's a good looking steak.
That's good.
That's really good, man. Whatever. That's the elk right there.
Not when lights on me. Come on.
Fucking stage fright, man. Shit. Don't let your wife know about that, dude. Let's come check out the camp. Here's our midget tent. This is for the Cecinas. Here, hey Anthony, go in there and grab something for me. Just so everybody can gave Harlan the shits. Hey, let's go over to Harlan. Come here, Harlan. What are you doing in here, buddy? You all right?
$100 an ounce.
Yeah, the old one finger salute.
son for balance.
We fucking made it this time. Oh yeah. Woo. That fucking nice. That is a nice one. Turn to the side. Yeah, like that.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's like a 340, 320, somewhere in there.
We're getting ready to go Sasquatch hunting.
This got some big old fronts on it. Yeah, that's nice.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording. Come on.
Hi, good morning, my friends. It's good to see you today. You're still interested in going hunting with Dave, I see. Well, that's wonderful. Today we're going to be going over sleeping gear, because that's the thing. If you're going to be coming to Colorado from out of state, I want you to have the best trip of your life, because most likely it's going to be so expensive that this is going to be your only chance to come to Colorado for the great big elk hunt. So I want you to enjoy that hunt with all the time that you have to spend in it. And so with that, you know, we're going to have good sleeping gear. So we need a good sleeping bag, and in that, the best kind of sleeping bag I recommend, especially because we're preparing for a late third season hunt and it's going to be cold, we want to have down sleeping bags. We need a sleeping bag that's going to be able to keep us warm at below 0 temperatures. So a regular sleeping bag, you know, they'll get you to about 0, and then after that, it starts getting real cold. And the colder you are, the harder it is to sleep. And then you wake up and you're real tired, groggy, you don't want to go out, and you end up staying in camp drinking beer all day. You know, and then problems begin, right? No elk. And we don't want to come to Colorado and not get an elk. So you want to have down, and a good thing also is make sure you have a down jacket. A down jacket. If you have one of those, it's going to save you a lot of heartache and anguish and cold fingers and cold toes, and it will keep you in the woods longer. It will keep you sitting there in your spot a little bit longer, you know, because you're usually going to get bored or you're going to get cold. And so what you want to do is make sure you bring a lot of candy, a lot of goodies, you know, and you've got a nice coat and you got your goodies and your candy bars there, because that takes up your time, you know, when you're sitting there. And you always want to make sure you have enough candy bars for your buddy. Because, like me, I never take candy bars up into the woods, but boy, I love it when my buddy's got one. and I'm always, hey man, come have one of those granola bars, right? And so, always make sure you got some of those things, but mostly our sleeping gear, you know. I always have, I got a very nice Army sleeping bag, right? And I got this at the Goodwill. I have 2 of these, and I got 2 of those at the Goodwill for like $6 a piece. You know, you can't beat one of them. They are one of the greatest things. They're kind of a mummy bag, and I don't really like the mummy bag part, but they're so warm you don't even have to zip them up. You just cover up. And what I usually do is we'll have a sleeping bag. I have like a double man sleeping bag, and then I have that, and I'll use the double man bag to lay it down and put it open, and then put that, and then cover myself like double sleeping bag, you know. Pretty soon you're like, poof, blowing that stuff off, and it's like so hot, man, so hot. So in that, you know, I want to, here I'll show you how you want to get your stuff ready, and we'll roll up our bag, and so that way we're not taking up a bunch of room. You gotta remember, you're gonna have 4 or 5 other buddies on their trip, and so we want to have enough room for all our stuff. So we gotta pack our stuff just right. So come back and join me here in a second, and we'll roll our bag. Alright, here we are. We're going to be rolling up our bag. You know, that's the thing. We got to keep these things nice and tight and good. You know, one of the things with this bag, which is so nice, that the zipper doesn't work anymore, but it still has these holes here where you can use shoestring or whatever and tie it up, so it continues to be a great use, you know. And so again, one of the things that's going to keep your trip successful and enjoyable is a good night's rest and being able to rest. And you know, one of the things that you come to find out, you know, every dude and elk hunter in town like snores. Man, they're just snoring away all night long. And best way to shut up a snorer is you just wiggle real hard in the camper. And boy, they just like, and they don't really wake up, but boy, they shut up real quick. And they feel that movement, you know. And so remember, you know, we're going to roll this thing up, and we're not rolling a joint, but we're rolling a sleeping bag, so make sure you get her nice and tight, you know. And that reminds me, you know, when you're sleeping and you're doing your, getting your camp set up, and I don't recommend third season in a tent. You'll probably really regret going if you go in a tent, especially late third season. You need a pop-up camper, some kind of a camper to keep you and help insulate and keep the air warm around you. And one of the most important things is, you know, is don't put your food inside your camper. Never put your food inside your camper because, you know, bears smell your food and they'll come, and if your food's on the outside of your camper and the bears come in, they'll get into the food out there, but they won't usually bother you. You know, I always remember this time we were out hunting and where everybody was sleeping, you know, and boy, I sure swore I could hear something wrestling around. And I know it was a bear because I could hear it, you know, and you hear all this wrestling around and stuff, something's getting into all the stuff, right, you know, and you can hear things tinkling and tingling, you know, the pots and pans, and boy, I was sure it was a bear, and nobody was, you know, awake but me. They're all sleeping, passed out, drunker than skunks, and so I'm sitting there going, man, I know that's a bear, and all of a sudden I hear, you know, this, hey, Mr. Rabbit, there's shit stick to your fur. And I was like, man, whoa, what the heck's going on out there? Right? And all of a sudden it's like, what's up, Doc? Right? And Rabbit's like, no, I don't have no problems with the shit sticking to my fur. Right? And then I was telling everybody, I know it was a bear out there. You're probably looking for some paper or something. And then all of a sudden, you know, nobody would believe me, but my buddy in the middle of the night decides he's going to take a whiz and go check it out, right? And all of a sudden, it's real quiet, and the next thing I hear is, wow, that's still warm, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I hear my buddy, I didn't know bears could eat corn. So I'm sure it was a bear, you know. I never did see the rabbit, but but you gotta be careful, you know. If you do get the shits in the mountains and you camp right in the middle, or poop right in the middle of camp, you just blame it on the bears, okay? Now, we got our bag, and we're here at the end, and don't forget to lick the clue. Oh, no, we're not rolling joints again. We're only rolling up our bag, right? But get these stuff nice and tight and nice and organized, you know? That way when you're going up there for your camp trip, you know, it's all in a state of order. We don't want to get out of order, and we don't want to get in a place of chaos, right? This thing too, you know, always take extra underwear with you. You always want to have an extra pair of undies with you. And never, ever let your wife pack your bag. I'll remember the first time I went elk hunting, and we had such a great time, man. And we were out there, because that's the thing, when you go elk hunting, you're going to party and party hardy, and that's what it's about, is enjoying life to the fullest. So, you know, I had my wife pack my bag, and man, I got back home and I was really chewing her butt, man. And, woman, I told you to pack me some socks, right? And she was like, I did. I put them in your gun case. It's like, whoop, problem started. So it's always pack your own bag and make sure you check your gun case for the socks if your wife packs it for you. Okay? So there's my tips on knowing a nice bag for your elk hunting trip, right? And don't forget to stop up in Denver where smoking weed is legal. So get you a fresh bag of weed right next to the liquor store and come up to the Rocky Mountain High. You can enjoy a hunt with Dave.
I'm an acorn small and round, lying on the cold, cold ground.